to African Teapot Podcast. My name is Exie and I'm your host. Journey with me through Africa's vast variety of culture, heritage, and discuss issues most African families face, both home and abroad. Make sure you add this podcast to your frequent podcast rotations, and don't forget to share and follow this podcast. Hello, and hope you had an amazing week. I'm so excited for today because today is our final episode regarding our single parenthood within our African community. And today we'll be focusing on the society, how we support single parents. And with that, we would also listen to the story that Winnie is going to share. And so we're just going to jump into her story and then do our analysis after that.
To Chris. So yeah. Chris, I don't really know much about it. I was getting to know him. Chris actually had 2 kids. So then when I said, he assumed I have a child because I said of my job. I said, no, my job, I deal with kids. But I said, I do not have
You're
kids.
a pediatric nurse.
Yes. So I was like, then he said, oh, no, you don't got kids. I said, no. And immediately he said, oh, this is not going to work. And I was like, okay, from what assumption are you making this? God. You see, I said, you don't know me. Oh, you know, at your age where you are, you don't have kids. I don't think you have any responsibility. You have, and I was like, so wait, so you're faulting me?
So let me get this straight. So he assumed you have kids just looking at you.
Yes.
And secondly, he's saying because you don't have any experience raising kids, then he can't, let me repeat, date you. It's not like you're in a relationship. Guys, it's not like she was in a relationship, because some people will listen to this and be like, oh, she went. No. She met someone and that person asked them to go out.
Yes.
Right? Like you meet someone, you exchange numbers, and then you guys fix a date. And when she went, this is the feedback she got from this date. So it's not like they're dating boyfriend. No, there's nothing. No. And it's not like this went on for months. This is weeks.
Weeks. Sorry.
It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So she's just trying to say she is, even after he said that this recent Chris, as we're going to call him, said he has a kid, you were still sitting there willing to listen.
Yes.
And then he threw the bomb like he got 2 kids. You need to understand she's coming from where she was dating someone with one kid.
And I saw all.
And it was crazy dealing with him, his lies, you feel, and then the dynamic of the baby mother and the baby being so young.
It's so young, yeah.
Now you meet another guy who said he got 2.
And I think that all the 2 kids are below 5. And I was like, Jesus.
Okay, you guys tell a homegirl what to do. What do you do in this case, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
You know, so what we would alter, or the thing that you will alter, permit me to speak for you, is maybe when the people who have children should take time to deal with the issues that come around co-parenting.
Yeah.
It's not fair to bring somebody else into the picture when your co-parenting dynamic is poor.
Yeah.
Because in other words, that person is inheriting your baggage, or inheriting your problems. But every human being, this is not to say every human being doesn't have baggage. Everybody does. But to inherit baggage that you don't even know how it started, that's very unfair.
That's very unfair.
That's what we're saying.
And then you keep making promises. This guy, John, my first John that did it for 2 years, saying marriage, but you're out here messing with Sarah, Susan, name it. I don't know who, you know?
Yeah, that was the sad part about it. And that's the same, that is what you mean when you said earlier in previous episode, I think 2 episodes ago, you said the problem is that when a child arrives, we need to be more aware of this. Most often, we women stay with the children. We stay with these kids. So I'm sorry, we need to be responsible with our sexual lives, because we are the ones who stay with the pregnancy and stay with the kids. It's exactly what Winnie is saying. She meets a guy because he is not living either way. If it's female, it's the same thing. When that person is not the person who is the primary parent, that means that's not the person who is living with the kids.
Yeah, because he wasn't living with the kid, guys. Yeah. No.
It's easy for that person to act as though they are single.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the picture, you start dealing with this baby mama because you have already invested your time where you're feeling like, okay, I'm in a relationship with someone, and now because that's how I feel. The moment he felt that, okay, I've gotten her feelings into this situation, then he throws the bomb. Like, I got kids. Now, like what you said, you start feeling pressure to stay. You start feeling like you're going to look selfish and self-centered if you leave.
If I leave,
You see, again, guys, this is what we mean by these are the concerns non-singles without kids have when they're dealing with people who got children.
Yeah. And that's why I don't know if you guys remember, that's why I kept saying, females, ask the questions. Don't be scared. Ask, girl. I know it might seem like you're prying, but I wish I knew then. I would have pried those questions that, okay, what is going on?
That's what we're saying.
Like, don't sit there and be like, oh, I don't want to look bad, I don't want to look terrible. No. Girl, at the end, it's only you who can protect you. He has his own things, you see, priorities. So you also have to prioritize yourself in this relationship. Don't, speak up. Don't be shy there like, oh, no, I'm going to hurt his feelings. Nope. You are getting into something. This person has a child. A whole human being.
A whole human being. Or human beings.
Beings.
With an S.
Exactly.
So guys, we laugh about it, we kid about it. And it's like, it's even worse when you go into it and then by the time you realize it, you were pregnant yourself. Like, say, if you got pregnant, now you're dealing with that dynamic and you're trying to fit in.
And he wanted kids with me, and I was like...
That's what I'm saying. This is a topic for another day.
Yeah.
It's like it's a culture. No. You don't want to get married, but you want to have kids. I understand when kids come when they are unplanned. But to sit and plan a kid with somebody when you know that person wants marriage...
And then you keep saying, oh, you want to marry someday. And I'm like, okay, when is this someday? But then you're out here dealing with Shaniqua, Shaquanda, whatever, who? Like...
Guys, no offense to Shaniqua.
I'm sorry.
The names just popped up.
That's the name that popped up. But yeah, like, I mean, you guys get what I mean. Like, you're here dealing with every other...
You're out here acting as though you're single. But you are a father.
Exactly.
So there was no sense of
and then you're trying to make me to commit to you. You see how selfish that is?
Again, guys, I said this in a few episodes back. If somebody is not being a good parent, if they tell you they're a parent and at that time you don't see them prioritizing the welfare of their children or their child,
a red flag, girl.
That is a huge red flag.
Yep.
They will not prioritize you or whatever.
Never.
You understand? And when you're dating someone and they don't want to be, like, he was transparent up until the time he was transparent, yet keeping you out.
It's like giving me bits of the story.
Yes.
It's trying to string me along.
And making sure that you don't meet with the kid or with the mother.
Yes.
Making sure of that. And then you have the mother commenting on the pictures. That's because he's dipping both ways. I'm sorry. You be dipping both ways.
Dude.
That's what's going on. So there are certain expectations we should have. It's okay to have certain doubts. It's okay to have certain concerns. And I'm sorry, it's already difficult dating people without kids. So when you are dating people with kids, you need to be more aware of your surrounding. Because it's worse when you get into it and then you yourself get pregnant.
And that's why I said with Tunde's story, if you haven't listened, go listen to that Tunde story.
Yes.
I said, I respect a man who will tell me, okay,
it's honest.
Winnie, this is how this is. Don't string me along. That's what I hate. Don't use me. I don't like that.
Guys, you heard it from Winnie. Winnie be keeping it real.
Exactly. If all I can take from this is females, or if you're a man, listen, honesty goes a long way.
I mean,
just be honest and respect me. That's what I'm asking for.
Don't try to
be playing games.
People.
Yeah.
And don't try to be pregnant saying out here it's not your kid.
It's not your kid.
But you're announcing on Facebook it's your kid. Come on, guys. We can blame her for not leaving when she saw the red flags, which she has admitted to and she has owned up to it.
Yes.
But we need to be accountable for what we do. That's what we are trying to say. And if you feel something is wrong or it's not right, leave. You have the right to leave because you got into a relationship.
And females, it is okay if you're above 30 or above 25 and you don't have kids. Let no man
because the culture out here is you have. That's
at
why
at a certain age you gotta have a kid.
You have a kid. Like no.
Maybe
some people still want marriage before kids.
I don't know if you really know daycare is expensive right here. I don't know if anybody has told you.
I'm babysitter.
Babysitters? No.
Okay, so if you have any advice or anything, I mean, she's moved past this. It's just,
Yeah,
a story.
it's just a story.
But if you have anything to add, please let us know. Come up with it. Let us know. But anyways, one of the question is, how are single parents treated in our African society? Are they supported by our society? And do we think they are treated equally? That's male and female. Permit me guys, single mothers and single fathers.
I feel like a single mom, they may, but they give you like a side eye. And then
they kind of try to help you, but
they're
judgmental.
judging you, exactly, yeah. But then the guy is like, oh, that's our grandchild. Bring our grandchild. It's like more welcoming.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're spitting facts there. I feel like a father has, unless he's like a widower or something.
Right.
Most often, if it's a single father with the mother still alive, they have the chance to be a far-off parent. They can just be a parent. It's almost like visiting, like you're visiting the child. You understand? But for mothers, you have to be with that kid 24/7. And most African mothers pretty much give up on finding love the second time.
Yeah.
Most of them do.
Even going back to school and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they give up on it. Because the society is like, well, you have to cater for your kid.
Right.
No, serious. That's how we feel. And then for men, I feel like most often they would tell men that when a man, let's say he's a widower or he's divorced or something and he has the kids, they just automatically feel that you can't cater for your children. So they tell you need to marry. Right.
So
that the woman can come and care for your kids.
Now with the...
I'm like, guys, that is old. A father can care. You see single mothers, you have some single fathers
that actually take care of their kids.
That's dedicated.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play. We're gonna play an audio after this, so you're gonna listen to it. You have single fathers out here killing it, who are divorced or are widowers. They are killing it. They're taking care of their children. We need to be accountable. That's your offspring. We need to be accountable for it. And then we also see where women have to settle for partners who are willing to marry them. So a woman is willing to be a third wife, fourth wife, fifth wife, willing to marry someone who is 30 years older than her.
That ain't me though.
30 years older than her, because the society has made it in such a way where the young people won't come to her for marriage.
Yeah.
You see? Because they already think, well, you're a mother, you've already been there, done that, which is so unfair.
Right.
You see, when it comes to sex and the society today, many people are not that innocent. So when you're criticizing someone for having the result of sex, which sex is created for procreation,
right?
When you are faulting somebody for having a baby out of it, you can fault them for their actions before that. But once the baby has come, the baby has come.
The baby is there to stay.
You understand? So saying, oh, you can't, you don't have the same value. The value, what do you mean? Because that's the expectation. The result of sexual activity is pregnancy. We use other ways to prevent it, but pretty much that's it. Okay? And then society puts stress on the kids to find their dads.
Right.
And you know, because in African culture, your father's tribe or whatever is dominant compared to your mother's.
You follow the lineage.
The lineage of your parents, of your dad. So they keep forcing you, who is your dad? You go to school, they keep maybe picking on you and things like that. That's a topic totally different. Then you have stigma from the society. They keep looking at the kids and keep looking at the lady. Especially, I had this story, which we'll share later, for church. Like church excommunicating young girls who are pregnant, or women who are, you can't take the Holy Communion because you're not married, or because you have a child, you can't be the leader of blah 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 and things like that.
Or even move to a different house because you don't have a husband. I'm like, wait, excuse me?
Exactly. They do things. They kick you out of school for being pregnant. I mean, I had mates who were pregnant in school and they literally stopped going to school because the school is like, we can't have pregnant people.
Me too.
Yeah,
they were expelled.
They were expelled. They don't want pregnant people. So these are things that happen within the African community. And then not enough support. I feel like your families can try and things like that.
Because it has happened. You're pregnant.
Yeah, but it's like you go somewhere, they're like, well, they're your kids. Right. And I want to tell people listening, if you're listening from the African communities, you have human rights offices now. Sometimes I think we Africans are not aware that they are there.
And then also there's some ignorance too.
Yes.
People
please, when you go and ask their organizations, now everywhere. They are rooted in different places in Africa. There is no country in Africa that doesn't have different organizations that would adopt kids if you need them to be adopted, that would help you along with the welfare of the children. I know we don't have child support set up like how it's set up here, but there they would make these fathers or they would
women, single mothers, dads.
They would tell these dads, they would make them pay money. Is there? Nigeria does it. I know Cameroon does it. There is no, I did research, there is no country that doesn't have that. So if you have a loved one, you are someone who is struggling with that issue right now, please check into it, ask questions, go to your local police and go and ask. You Google, you go sometimes some churches, especially the modern structured ones, they would have that.
And then also, just to add on your thing, we Africans, we need to stop this thing of like, oh, that's a white person thing. Like, no, don't let your child suffer. There are resources.
They are there.
They are there. So don't think like just how you say, oh, you both think. No.
As much as you have orphanages, you have places where
for single
parents who need help. There are there.
Even for kids with single mothers, they will take that child to school. They give them uniform, books,
and what
socks,
shoes. Is there. Don't let somebody tell you that, oh, you are going. And sometimes they say the thing like, when a child grows, they're going to look for their dad. But before that child grows to where they're looking for their dad, they need to feed, go to school, they need shelter, and they need
basic needs.
They need health care. Please, gone are the days where they don't have it. I'm sorry, every African country, listen to us, offers these services. Not one, not two, not three. The resources are there. We are just not utilizing them. And even now, traditionally, even in my country, Cameroon, traditionally, if you go and report the father to your kid who is not, taking care of that kid, they would make sure he does. Even traditionally, the Fondoms, the chiefs, Igwes, whoever, they do. Okay, so don't sit back and you are there struggling and you can't survive and it's terrible. Like, no. Please reach out to someone, tell someone, check it out. Please do.
We have to stop this cycle. Like, kids need better education. They need food. They need shelter. They need better care.
And when you're dating someone with children, you need to be patient with them. And at the same time, you are responsible for your own feelings, your own emotions, and what you want. They will not figure out what you want. And please, in every relationship, you see something that's not working, it's a red flag, leave.
Exactly. Don't stay there.
Don't sit there and feel guilty because the child is not yours. Don't feel guilty.
Because if it comes down to anything, he's going to pick that child over you. I'm sorry.
So don't sit there and you're feeling guilty to leave because you're going to look back. It is your right to say, hey, you have a kid, I don't want to date you. Because we saw Winnie telling us, someone says, well, you don't have a kid, so I can date you because you have no experience with children. So pretty much he's looking for someone to come raise his kids.
Pretty much.
That's what is happening. So hopefully throughout this series we have covered different aspects, and no, not all, because parenting is completely a different situation. But any links or anything that we use for our research, like you listened in the first episode, we're going to link them in the show notes. You can go there, follow, listen to it. And that brings us to the end of our series, Parenthood series.
I think I need some accolades.
Thank you, Winnie. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Winnie, for lending your voice, your story.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Telma. Thank you, Tunde. Thank you so much for all of that. It was a learning experience and a learning journey. That's what African Teapot is about. I will let you guys know what our next series is going to be on, but we are working on it. So we're just going to take a little pause and then we'll put that together and then we'll air it for you guys. But if you have any questions, keep them coming. Follow us on Instagram, social media.
Yes, Facebook.
We are there. We are popping. So
and you can listen anywhere.
And we are growing, guys. Yes. We are growing, guys. Listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. And at this juncture, we are going to say goodbye.
See you later.
See you guys later. Bye. Thank you for listening and hope you join me for the next episode. You can always reach us via email at africanteapot@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at African_teapot.